coming up tonight on the fifth quarter. LSU gets one step closer to their second playoff berth.
How is Brian Kelly keeping the team focused?
And later, Coach Kim Mulkey has the Lady Tigers rolling on both ends of the floor. All this and more, the fifth quarter starts right now. Welcome to the fifth quarter, and thanks for joining us. I'm Brie Andras.
And I'm Adam Guttuso. Brie, the Tigers took the field for one last time in Death Valley this Saturday against UAB, and they went out strong.
Yeah, even in the cold and rainy conditions, we saw a very strong offense that put up 41 points and a dominant defense that put a stop to one of the best running backs in the country in UAB's Dwayne McBride.
You know, a big win is definitely a great way to cap off home field advantage for the season. Tiger TV's David Bartholomew was there, and he's in the studio with more. David?
Once again, the Tigers seen themselves playing in hostile conditions, hosting UAB this past weekend for their final game in Death Valley. Regardless, the Bayou Bengals were able to push through for their fifth consecutive win, thanks to an outstanding game by Jaden Daniels and the offense.
Coming off a rough game at Arkansas, only throwing for 90 yards, Jaden Daniels outdid himself tonight, throwing for over 400 yards and 2 touchdowns, helping the Tigers secure the win.
Jaden prepared really well, and you could make the case that this was his best game of the year. He pushed the ball down the field vertically. He saw things. He was assertive.
As the Tigers approach the postseason, it's imperative they stay focused on the task ahead and don't get too caught up in the hype.
You know, we're late in the season. It's not about if we're better than teams. It's about who's the most mental tough team and who prepared throughout the week, because everybody's good as you get late in the season.
The Tigers now move forward in preparations as they head to College Station for their final regular season game, where they'll face their longtime rivals at Texas A&M.
When they arrive at Kyle Field Saturday, the Tigers will stare down a Texas A&M team that sits at 4-7. Their only conference win of the season was a 2-point victory over Arkansas back in September. Despite the Aggies' struggles, Brian Kelly is not discounting the talent in A&M's program, which had the top recruiting class in the country during the offseason.
You know, it's a very talented football team, but it's young. And so, you know, you can see at times it is really scary. And then sometimes, you know, there's a loss there of maybe some focus. But this is if they put it all together, it's not a team you want to be around when they put it all together. It's a very talented football team.
Switching gears to the hardwood, the Lady Tigers held down home court on Sunday before going on their first road games.
Bertie O'Connell is in the studio with more on the Lady Tigers hot streak. Bertie?
The LSU women's basketball team faced off against Northwestern State in the PMAC, and the Tigers' offense was rolling, successfully moving the ball up and down the court on fast breaks, leading them to a 100-45 win against the Demons. The Lady Tigers broke an NCAA record Sunday, scoring 100 points for the fifth consecutive game. Northwestern State didn't make it easy for LSU. They made the Tigers work hard in the first quarter defensively, and this forced LSU's offense to be low scoring.
Well, I think what they did, let's compliment them. When the game started, they made sure they used up the clock offensively. They weren't taking quick shots. They made us work defensively. I thought their stuff that they run, they didn't look at the score. They just kept being who they are.
The Bayou Bengals offense was forced to step it up in the second quarter. Their post play went out on the perimeter and moved their feet. This led to the success in scoring points on fast breaks and grabbing rebounds. The Demons were spread out on the floor, and this made the Tigers uncomfortable. But according to head coach Kim Mulkey, this type of play is what makes the Tigers better.
We have played teams that stretch the floor with their four, and it was very uncomfortable.
The Tigers showed confidence on Sunday in working together on offense. Almost everyone on the team was able to contribute in scoring, and many of the freshmen showed their skills offensively.
It's like being around players like Angel. Like every practice, she leads in deflections, and I'm be right behind her every time. So I'm like, I can't let a post player get more deflections than me. You feel me? So just like having people like that, just bring that energy and makes you want to be better.
The LSU women's basketball team will continue to have the upperclassmen help the freshmen gain stronger skills to lead the ball down the court and put points on the scoreboard. They hope to have more games where everyone on the team is able to contribute. The Lady Tigers will head to the Bahamas to compete against George Mason and UAB in the Goombay Splash. For Tiger TV Sports, I'm Brie O'Connell. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Birdie. When the fifth quarter returns, our reporter Abby Homrock is here to get us ready for the upcoming baseball season.
Time to show him who's in charge. Call me a shooting star. Shooting stars didn't even get to bronze. So good.
We're Tiger TV, LSU's student-run broadcast news station.
We're bringing you 4 newscasts a week, covering all things LSU.
Our news team is covering all the stories you need to know from LSU's campus and the Baton Rouge community.
And our sports team has you covered on the Tigers from the field to the court.
Tiger TV, sports, news, you.
Watch us on WBRZ 2+, Channel 11 at 11:10.
Welcome back to the fifth quarter. I'm joined with sports reporter Abby Homrock, who was at the box all weekend for the Purple and Gold World Series. And that series concludes fall practices for the Tigers, and the regular season is right around the corner. Abby, what did you see from Jay Johnson and his squad?
One key thing that I saw was all the fresh faces on the field as well as the talent that they brought from the transfer class to the freshmen. I went to the earlier fall practice, and this team looks completely different than they did before. The Purple and Gold World Series signals the end of fall practice for the Tigers, as they are now less than 90 days away from the regular season. These annual intra-squad scrimmages began on Friday, November 18th, and concluded today, Sunday the 20th, officially marking the end of the team's 6-week practice period. With LSU coming into the upcoming season with the #1 ranked transfer class, spectators got to see some fresh faces on the field, as well as the new talent the team has to offer.
Yeah, the guys in the locker room are great. The guys that came in from the transfer portal have been phenomenal. Incoming freshman class, tons of talent, but great people. And being able to play with them each and every day of the fall and go through practices on our inter squad and stuff like that has been phenomenal. They're really great guys, great people. And their execution of what they do, they understand that this is the next level, and the way they practice and perform, it matters and things like that. And they've been able to do a good job of focusing in on the task at hand and, really doing that day in and day out and understanding the consistency of it to make the team great.
The purple team, led by Cade Beloso, dominated over the gold team, led by Gavin Dugas. These teams were both selected by the gold team captain. With fall practice officially ending, the team will have to stay motivated throughout the winter.
We'll give them our assessment or evaluation of where they're at after the fall. We have really good plans for them to take the things we want them to improve on. It's also a good time to get a little break here this week over Thanksgiving. We've been going hard for 14 straight weeks, so it's a well-deserved rest this week. And then they'll have their individualized plans, and they'll have to be responsible for taking care of that so they're ready to go in January.
The regular season kicks off less than 90 days away on February 17th against Western Michigan.
Thanks, Abby. After the break, Nick Lopez brings us his top 5 plays over the past semester. Nick, can you give us a sneak peek?
That's right, Brie. When we come back, see what ranks as my #1 play of the whole semester. Don't go anywhere.
Time to show him who's in charge. even get to cross.
So good.
We're Tiger TV, LSU's student-run broadcast news station.
We're bringing you 4 newscasts a week, covering all things LSU.
Our news team is covering all the stories you need to know from LSU's campus and the Baton Rouge community.
And our sports team has you covered on the Tigers from the field to the court.
Tiger TV, sports, news, you.
Watch us on WBRZ 2+, Channel 11 at 11:10.
With it being our last sports show of the semester, I thought it'd only be appropriate to make a list of my top 5 plays from the whole semester. Let's check them out. At number 5, I have Joe Fouché against Ole Miss, where he snags this interception with one hand. You know, he'd get kicked out of most baseball games for sticky hands like that. For number 4, we have number 24, Jarek Bernard Converse, ending this Alabama scoring threat with an interception of his own in the end zone. Now, for number 3, some may say the LSU defense was going berserky off of Perky with its Harold Perkins sack on Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart. Now, there may be some controversy between my number 1 and 2 plays, but for 2, I have Jane Daniels' 25-yard touchdown run in overtime against the Alabama Crimson Tide, which leads into my number 1 play because it's the following play. This may be the most important play of the LSU season with this 2-point conversion that led their walk-off win over the Alabama Crimson Tide. That wraps up my top 5 list of the semester. Back to y'all at the desk.
Such a great list as always, Nick. Now we want to take a moment to give a special shout out to a former member of our Tiger TV family, Chris Langley, who will be on tonight's episode of Wheel of Fortune.
That's right. It'll air tonight at 6:30 p.m. on WBRZ Channel 2 in Baton Rouge. For other areas, check your local listings. Chris, we wish you the best of luck.
Now, Adam, whenever we go on winter break, I'll be heading to Atlanta to go cover the SEC Championship. What are you doing?
You know, especially for this Thanksgiving break, it's going to be a lot of sports. Basketball teams in the Cayman Islands. The World Cup just started. USA drew 1-1 today with Wales. So definitely going to be checking out a lot of sports.
Well, that's all the time we have tonight for the 5th quarter and for the semester. Join us in the spring for Inside the Stripes, but we are not going quite far. We will have coverage of LSU football's postseason journey, as well as the men's and women's basketball team over the winter break. And you can stay updated with our coverage on our YouTube channel and our social media at LSU Tiger TV.
Check out our website, tigertv.tv, for more stories. I'm Adam Guttuso. She's Brie Andras. Thanks for watching, and have a great night, Tigers.